Hello, everyone, and welcome to your favorite show, Hypnosis Hero, where every episode we bring you literally, I'm not even kidding you, people, literally the world's greatest living hypnotist. I'm not even joking. And tonight, no exception. In fact, this guy, wait till you hear about him. I'm not going to tell you too much, but I'm going to tell you that he has been a legend in the industry for decades. He was selling out stadiums for his comedy stage hypnosis show back in the 90s. Love to see that kind of stuff come back around. Nobody sells out stadiums anymore for comedy hypnosis. And he had to switch over to doing hypnotherapy, became a star in that as well, because you know what? Badasses will be badasses in whatever they want to do. So we're going to talk to him about that and what made him take on that transition. It was something unexpected that kind of derailed him. But before we go on, I want to just remind everybody what we're doing tonight. First of all, going to talk with Brian Bay. Then we're going to talk with the captain, Shawn Kostiuk. And then we're going to bring on our guest. And later on in the show, we're going to be talking about product spotlight. That's the thing that if you want to help us keep the lights on, you're going to buy one of these. That's right. Your Life Sucks or Your Life Sucks. We'll also be giving away a copy of that for those of you who are too cheap, that don't want to purchase it. So we'll be giving that away. We'll also play everyone's favorite game, Friend or Frenemy. And then, we're going to do, and then we'll do live hypnosis right through the screen. That's right. This show is one of the few opportunities you have twice a month to come in and get hypnotized. And I mean this when I tell you, these are the world's greatest hypnotists. They're the greatest living hypnotists. This is no BS. This is not hyperbole. This is not marketing. These people really are the best in the business. So you get the opportunity. We're not even sure yet if our guest is going to want to do something kind of therapeutic, something helpful, maybe help you out with stress or something like that. Or maybe we're going to have fun with hypnosis and we might do some, making some fingers stick together or all kinds of crazy stuff. So please stick around. We've got an awesome show. Again, legend here we're talking to. We're super fortunate to have him. But before we talk to the legend, let's talk to Brian. Mr. Bay.
I'm not a legend. I feel attacked. Screw you guys. I'm going home. No, we've got doing much better now. Becca's here joining us from the United Kingdom. Sammy approves. You heard that?
Always a pleasure, Becca. Thank you so much for joining us.
So yeah, totally digging the hat, man. How was your weekend?
Ask me why I'm wearing the hat.
Why are you wearing the hat, Jim?
It's Canadian Thanksgiving, people. Come on.
Oh yeah, I was talking to someone at the Nile Shrine Haunt last night about Canadian. That. They were like, yeah, we're down. She's like, yeah, I'm going to the University of Victoria, and I was like, oh, cool. She's like, yeah, we got the day off for the weekend because it's Canadian Thanksgiving, and I was like, all right. So
I got to tell you, Victoria is one of my favorite places in the world. That city is absolutely beautiful. Have you ever been?
I've not been to Victoria. I've been through right up through Surrey, Abbotsford, and then we drove through the slums of Vancouver. It was like Seattle North.
Reminds you of Seattle. Seattle North.
but like worse. It's really, really sad, the just rampant drug use, just because they go, all right, like, here you go. And then everybody goes, oh, we have a place to go use drugs. And then, imagine that crime follows.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Jobeth.
Jobeth
from the East Coast, my friend.
Fantastic.
Fellow personal injury. Professional. Yeah. So if you get schwacked by a car in Maryland, right? Is that where he's at?
I think it's Maryland. Yeah. Hey, Jobeth, drop a link to your podcast, Between Two Minds. He's also been he's been interviewing people for the Performing Hypnosis Summit. What did I miss?
Yes. If you turn your head just slightly, the D kind of looks like an L.
You're welcome. Who said that? I bet it was. Of course, it was Scott King.
It was absolutely Scott.
Who else would it be? Who else would it be? Notices the details like that. Well, there
Shawn,
you go.
we're putting in an order for a hat with smaller lettering.
So, of course, I'm wearing the hat because it's Canadian Thanksgiving, an homage to our friends to the north, but also my good friend and the captain himself gave me this when he came to my workshop at HypnoThoughts. And here's the thing, Brian, I lost it because my wife put it somewhere and I couldn't find it for the longest time. I don't know if I'll be able to wear it for the whole show, but I'm going to keep it on as long as possible. It's awfully hot. It's awfully warm. But also our guest is Canadian. He's from a communist country originally, but he lives in Canada now. Another communist country.
Socialist-ish.
So how's Brian this week? What have you been up to?
Oh, dude, I got up this morning and kind of went round and round with the VA, like you do. Great. And then decided I've had enough, and I pretty much went to bed. I was running around all weekend with the haunted house, and it was just Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and you just go, oh my God. But yeah, just kind of recovering from. You can't unsee it, can you?
I just got to get the angle just right.
Yeah, you're just going to pan back and forth like like a fan on the oscillating setting.
That's what you call the scroll stopper, right there. Scroll stopper.
I'm going to leave it alone. I'm going to leave it alone, Jim. This is a family show.
That's so rare for you, Brian. It's so rare for you to leave it alone.
Oh, it's. What's the YouTube algorithm that before you get demonetized, you can't have any like questionable content?
Yeah.
Like, did Scott ruin it for us, or
getting warnings? Brian, sorry you're having trouble with that. We're going to bring on the captain with the with the VA. Let's bring on the captain with his tech tip for the week. Shawn Kostiuk, our resident Canadian. That's right. We're an international group of hypnotists here. Shawn?
Yeah, we prefer socialist light.
Socialist light?
Yeah.
What's going on in Shawn's world this week?
Well, Shawn was on the road today and yesterday, and so big thank you to my sister for hosting Thanksgiving, and
nice.
My brother for putting us up while we were in Saskatoon and area. So it was good. My tech tip of the day, make sure you have a meat thermometer and you know where it is. So you don't have to buy another one.
Shawn, you can't do the meat thermometer after Scott's comment about Jim's hat.
I am not a turkey guy. I would prefer to have a nice juicy steak on Thanksgiving. However, since it is traditional to have a turkey, a stuffed turkey.
A stuffed turkey, you say?
Make sure you have a meat thermometer. Remember, Brian, I used to teach middle years, and I can out crazy the crazy. I just happen to prefer a monetized, live stream.
Yeah, me too. Someday, please watch longer. In fact, if you have, if you've got a couple of smartphones and a computer, run them all at once so we get lots of watch hours.
You know what? And you can get us in stereo.
In stereo, exactly. Well, Shawn, by the way, I'm live on TikTok. Did you invite me? Did I miss something?
You know what? I don't know that I can from this particular live. I got to figure that one out, but I will keep working at it behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes, like he always does. Scott is killing it, and Becca is loving it. She's going crazy. Guys, I got to tell you, so I met our guest hypnotist. So for those of you that are tuning in for the first time, we are the resident Hypnosis Heroes, but every episode we bring on a Hypnosis Hero guest, the guest hypnotist, and that's our focus for tonight. We're going to be talking to him for probably half an hour. We'll do a little interview with him, and then we'll have our fun game. We'll do some product spotlight. We will do the live hypnosis through the screen. Now, when that starts, please do sit down, lie down, whatever. Now, if you want to, Shawn will share a link where you could actually join us so that we could actually see you. It's always more fun when we can see you. Sometimes Becca will jump on, even though she can't talk because we know it's quiet where she's at. But you can jump on here. We will actually be able to see you when we hypnotize you. So that's kind of fun. But otherwise, we'll just hypnotize you through the screen. I know this guy coming up will have no problem with that. I met him at the Michigan conference. Didn't recognize him until Mr. Richard Cole, another fine Canadian hypnotist, pointed him out, and we started talking. And guys, I was like, man, I got to get him on Hypnosis Hero and to the Performing Hypnosis Summit. It was tough. I'll be honest, I had to bump somebody, a couple of people, to put him on the schedule. But when you find out more about him, you're going to find out why that was necessary, because this guy really is a hashtag badass. So he grew up in Hungary, as we said, a former communist country. He immigrated to Canada in 1984. He's been performing since he was 16 years old. He's worked in the circus. He was became a magician and then a stage hypnotist. I'm going to let him tell you more about all of that. Here's a cool thing too. He actually knew Ormond McGill, Dr. Butler. Of course, he knows the Elmans. He even knew Gil Boyne. So, I mean, really, just what a pedigree with this guy. So, without further ado, and one of the coolest names in the world. How do you get a cool name of a guy who rode elephants in to conquer lots of areas? I don't remember where he conquered, but I know he went over the Alps. I know that, or through the Alps. Something. Rome. That's right. Exactly. I was just setting that up. That was a layup, Shawn.
Everything from Rome east.
Everything from Rome east. All right. Let's bring on Mr. Attila Kuhn, everybody.
Well, thank you very much. I really appreciate you having me here. And I only meeting you guys the first time, Shawn and Brian and Jim. I got to know you about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So instead of me yapping, please ask questions. It's easier, I guess.
Fantastic. Well, first of all, did I say your name correctly?
Yes, Attila.
Kuhn, and is it Kuhn?
Yeah, Kuhn. Yes, awesome. And that's true. I grew up in Hungary, in a communist country. And as a very young lad, I already performed with magic shows in my country. And I decided if I can accomplish all that in a communist country, I have a bigger dream and a bigger goal. So with my wife, we packed up everything with my dog and my magic stuff. And I went to Austria. And the reason they let me out, I told them I entered into a magic competition, but we walked right into the refugee camp and asked for political asylum. Canada refused to take me in 3 times, actually rejected me, because I was in the communist army. I was a border patrolling officer at the Budapest airport. So they thought actually I am a communist spy. So Canada rejected me 3 times, and the only way we could come in that on our own money, and I had to find sponsors here who was willing to put down money for us to come here, and we had to sign the deal that for 3 years we are not eligible for any help from Canada. And ever since I came here, I never received a penny from this government. So I'm proud of that.
Amazing. Right on.
So you, if I heard you correctly, you did some time in the Hungarian military?
Yes, I did 2 years.
Now, it
was mandatory in our country.
Yeah. Okay, so it's a compulsory service, like a lot of.
Exactly.
Okay. And
my previous background, I was also in the printing business, and I was working as an editor by age 18 with a Hungarian newspaper. So because of all my printing background, they trained me into the border for passport control.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, kind of a fun fact. So my family is Hungarian,
cool.
of Hungarian descent. So it's hard to pronounce, and I'm gonna butcher it a little bit, but our original last name was like Bakskiewski or something like that. And so they took the B and then the A and then the Y at the end and just condensed it when they came to America.
Cool.
Huh. Wow. Interesting. Oh, have you been to the Budapest bistro, Brian? They're in Mukilteo.
I have not.
Very good Hungarian food. Schnitzel.
Lot of meat.
A lot of meat. Yes.
Bacon?
No, but schnitzel. Schnitzel.
Yeah.
And the best damn fried potatoes I've ever had in my life. Honestly.
You keep saying schnitzel with that hat on, and I'm laughing at Scott King right now, okay?
All right, I got to take this off. I know it's too distracting for everyone.
Remember, it's a winter hat, Jim.
It is a winter hat. But I was celebrating Canada. I was all day today. I was wearing this hat. Hold on. But, it's Canadian Day. So,
So, Attila, before I go look this up on Google or ChatGPT, when did Hungary, I guess, get their freedom or not become communist?
You remember when the Berlin Wall came down?
Yeah.
1989, if I recall correctly.
Okay.
I think everything is changed, the entire Eastern European bloc. But basically, I grew up under the Russian regime, and we even had to learn Russian in school. But I tell you right now, Canada is worse than where I came from.
Oh, shoot. Wow.
Yeah, let's keep the politics. So let's go back to hypnosis.
Yeah.
But that's the fact. Trust me, you're coming from a communist country and saying this to you, that I am shocked to realize that I am now living in worse than where I came from. It's hard to explain to people.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
Yep.
So if anybody wants to have some fun, go ahead and read through the comments there and see what Scott King is writing. He's really taunting me. Attila, can you tell us? So, I mean,
I just read that.
Yeah. So Attila, so you were into magic, and if I remember right, you had a magic shop, and then
correct.
what?
Yeah.
And then that's where you met a lot of these people, these hypnotists and other magicians, right?
I tell you how the whole thing started. So I arrived to Canada, and less than 10 months later, I opened the magic shop in the world's biggest shopping center in Edmonton. So I had that shop for about 10 years. And of course, I started out a lot of people there, magician coming, their friends. However, in 1991, I did a show in California in Monterey Bay. And Peter Reveen came up to me after my magic show, introduced himself, and he says, next time when I'm in your town, I bring you some tickets. And he did. So in 1991, we went to see him at the Jubilee Auditorium with some friends like Mark Savard and many others. And eventually, Peter Reveen was the one who put the bug in me, because I asked him after the show. First of all, I didn't believe in it. Just like anybody else, when you see this the first time, you think, like, okay, I just saw the devil. Oh, no, I don't believe in the devil. So I have to learn this. And Peter Reveen said one sentence, and he says, don't believe that you are some kind of a healer. You can have fun with this, but don't try to heal people. And I'm like, what do you mean with this craziness? You can actually heal? So, and I opened a coffee shop in downtown, and I went bankrupt with both of my stores eventually because of the coffee shop. But I went to the library just across the street and only found medical books on hypnosis. Then I found a school, and I took all their trainings. And in 1996, actually, I started to teaching at that school. So for 20 years, I was teaching there hypnosis, hypnotherapy, stage hypnosis. And eventually, about 10 years ago, I started my own. And I have now 10 different courses in 2 different languages. And I introduced hypnotherapy in Hungary the first time in 2008. I have now 4 instructors in Europe. So I try to make it international and expanding all the time with new courses. But going back to this, so I learning medical hypnosis first, then I'm learning hypnotherapy. And because I was already working in the magic industry, doing magic shows, I had agents who were booking me. So it was easy for me to transform from the entertainment perspective. However, all my friends, they said that you will never be a hypnotist because of your accent. We can't understand you. And I do have an accent on both languages. But the point is here, in the school, my teacher hypnotized me and said, listen, Arnold Schwarzenegger has an accent, and women love exotic accents. And I'm like, I opened my eyes. Women love me. Okay, I'm a hypnotist. So, and that's how it goes. So I started to developing shows, and it was easy for me. Now, I set my rules for myself. I made myself immediately an expensive hypnotist. So my starting fee was $5,000, $5,000 in 1996.
Wow.
Okay. I didn't budge. I only did give them lower prices if we took lesser equipment. I had a huge production. You might have seen some of my videos. I had a big production. And before I had a car accident and I broke my neck actually coming home from a show. I have titanium rods in my neck. So I retired from the show business in 2005. But I had a huge production, and I was running for 10 years, running the Canada's biggest Christmas parties event. And it was really sold out in stadiums. You can see it on YouTube. It like between 2,000 to 4,000 people in the events. It was huge, massive show production. And anybody who wants to get into the show business, this is all what I can say. You can't become really a big star in this industry unless you have something which just creates a huge impact.
Yeah. So
you know what I mean by this?
Yeah. So it's a real experience. It's not just we're going to go out. It's going to be a show. We're going to laugh. We're going to go home. It's like, wow.
Exactly. And the other thing is what I learned is, so let's say somebody calls you up and they ask you, are you available? How much you charging? And you can get suckered into these questions so easily. So I had to learn first not to give out information before I know what they are after. And give you a hint. One day I got a call from a lady who was booking an event for Shell, the highest executives all across the world. Okay. And also I did shows for actually Canada's billionaires. So imagine that if I just gonna quote my regular prices.
Right. Yeah.
They're going to dish you like this because you are cheap.
Right.
So you need to find out first, who is the event for? What's their expectation? And what event is this? Where is this going to be taking place? So when they say that, it's going to be Las Vegas, it's going to be the richest people in the world, understand your starting fee is probably around $20,000 to $30,000.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But then you're going to bring the equipment, you're going to bring the experience that's going to make it worth it, right?
Depends. Sometimes I didn't even have to bring the equipment because they provided everything.
Oh, but yeah.
I was going to say the venue that you're performing at, they're going to have it all.
When they fly you in with a private jet, trust me, they have everything. And I have experienced it. I worked with a couple of famous people. Like, I don't know if you guys remember the rock band, the Dog and the Slugs. Okay, and it was it was amazing when we were up in Taktajaktak and in Inuvik and so newspaper articles all over everywhere I performed. I was the first stage hypnotist doing shows in Yellowknife, as a matter of fact. So it was a mind-boggling experience. Some of these old stories.
For our American viewers, Yellowknife is way the hell north.
Well, trust me, Taktajaktak is farther up there. It's right where Santa Claus lives.
Taktajaktak and then North Pole. That's it is probably the most northern point on the mainland.
So anyway, I always had the dream to make it big. And in 2005, coming home from a show, the guy who worked for me with 16 years, unfortunately, fell asleep with the coffee in his hand, and we hit the ditch. I broke my neck. They are fine. And I finished still the signed contracts that time. I did a few more shows with these big events, but then I retired completely. I went back to get my psychology degree. I have a nutritional science degree, and I went into the hypnotherapy field. And ever since that's what I do. And I specialize mostly in personality disorders and helping people.
And you really excel in that as well. You're a well-known international trainer, author, all that.
I'm not sure, like you see, I don't like to brag about myself, but it was very kind of you that the way you introduced me. I said, hey, I am a legend. That's awesome. Okay. In 2005, I went to the first time in Los Angeles, and I did actually a 1-hour demonstration on my rapid induction, which is I called 1 second induction. So I have a Kung Fu black belt and I did Aikido. So I developed a few techniques, which is a little bit of a combination of some handworks and movements. And I created, you see, every time when I watched Gil Boyne or I watched others, they doing too much talk and they did so much things. So I used the psychological aspects and some body movements, how I can create this faster. Okay, and eventually developed about 13 different routines. So I was demonstrating this in Los Angeles the first time. And the IMDH, International Medical and Dental Hypnotherapy Association, Robert Otto, the director, the owner of that, watched my presentation. And in the evening, he approaches me in the Hilton in Los Angeles and he says, Attila, I want to introduce you to somebody. So he introduced me to Ormond McGill, to Gil Boyne. And, I was nervous as hell, honest to God. So, and Gil says, I hear you do some good stuff. Show me, impress me. And I'm like, here in the middle of a bar? And I'm like, okay, I can't lose nothing. These are all hypnotherapists. They've been hypnotized. So I did a couple of rapid induction to show it to Gil right there on the spot. And he says, so do you have some materials? I said, yeah. He said, can you show it to me? I running upstairs, bringing down my video cassette. It was still a VHS tape, my shows on it. So I gave it to him. He says, so do you teach this? I said, yeah. And he says, do you have a material? So I got my book. I had a stage hypnosis book. And if you want, I can maybe grab it here if I find it quickly. Not sure. Anyway, so, here it is. Okay, so it's like, that was my original. And so I gave it to Gil. And next day, I get a call, come up to my penthouse. So I go up there, and with a highlighter pen, actually went through all the, he says, this is good, this is, let's alter it. And he says, okay, next year, you do the gala. So in the next year, I did the gala show. So I'm coming down on that night. I'm nervous as hell. Look, understand, this is the biggest event, So I step in the elevator. I'm fixing my suit, and I'm, and elevator stops and Ormond walks in. And listen, Ormond McGill, he grabs my arm. So we come out, he's asking me question, and he escorted me into this room, about 300 people up on the stage, and I did my show. Now listen, after I finish my show, there is silence. And that's the moment when you are just about ready to die. Because you think like, oh my God. And they were shocked because they never seen anything like that. Okay, so here am I, I'm nervous, and eventually Gil Boyne stands up and starts to clapping his hands, and Ormond stands up, and Randall Church, and many of it, and eventually I have about 300-400 people giving me a standing ovation in a convention, So that's when I settled in, and Gil started to promoting me out, and he booked me actually do a couple of times an entire whole week stage hypnosis course in Los Angeles, which we do have it videotaped. So in case anybody interested in it, I still have it on a set of 10 DVDs with Gil Boyne in it together. And when I started the teaching in Hungary, in Budapest, 2009, I invited Gil Boyne. So his very last international master course was with me here in Budapest, and he passed away a few months later. Wow. So I had the honor to know him personally, and he considered it as a friend. Not only that, he allowed me to print his entire stage hypnosis show into my stage hypnosis manual.
Wow.
Which is also printed in the Ormond McGill Encyclopedia of Stage Hypnotism.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
So that's a classic book. Shawn, can you go find, I know Attila's websites are in the description. Can you go find those and then share those? If anybody wants to grab some of these materials that Attila's talking about, head over to his website, grab those. And if you don't know, so we're talking about Ormond McGill, Gil Boyne. If you're not a hypnotist, then you may not be familiar with them. They're really legends to us. I mean, they were some of the founding fathers of modern hypnosis, along with Dave Elman and Erickson and some other folks. But and if you're a hypnotist and you don't know, Google them. You need to know them, definitely. Attila, so I'm always curious too, because I know. It was Peter Reveen. I don't remember Peter Reveen. He sold out huge. Was it Coliseums, arenas, and you did too. We know Terry Stokes did the Calgary Stampede. Sold out huge audiences. Is anybody doing that today? I don't know of anybody that's doing that today.
I swear to God, I don't know, because I kind of retired from the show business. I know Boris, the incredible Boris, was big name too.
Boris,
I never met the man, but I really admire his knowledge and his accomplishments. The other one who started out in my magic shop is Wayne Lee. You might have heard of Wayne.
Oh, Wayne Lee, of course.
Yeah. Wayne started out at the same time. Mark Savard started out from my living room. I didn't teach him hypnosis, don't mistake, and he learned from Gil probably. But Mark learned also magic with me and entertainment. And I remember recording together his first audio cassettes for his sound equipment. And
wow,
yeah, he's a great guy. I don't know. I think he's retired too now.
Yeah, I think he is. Yeah. So I mean, more names that if you're a hypnotist, you surely know. Mark Savard, of course, headlined Vegas for a long time. But it's interesting that, and I don't know, I don't think anybody's doing that today, and I don't know why. I don't know when that stopped, when hypnosis became, not as big a deal. Hypnosis shows, because I mean, I just don't know of anybody that's doing that. I know Richard Barker and Boris, and I think Steve Falcon does some theater stuff, maybe bigger stuff, but for the most part, I mean, nothing like a Coliseum or an arena or something. You know what I mean? So it's,
as I said, I wouldn't know at the moment.
Yeah.
I am fully into the hypnotherapy business now. I'm teaching, and
what sets your now? Do you have some kind of theories? I know because you've got a lot of experience also in psychology. A lot of some hypnotherapists don't take the time to go learn psychology. And so I know you've got that educational background. Do you have certain theories that you use and that you subscribe to that maybe are different than others?
Well, I think what I did in Michigan at the convention there a couple of weeks ago, I created a very specific new timeline with regression therapy. And that's really my own original. And as a matter of fact, I am in the middle of trade marketing my courses into a new segment, what is called source therapy. So it is really a segment out from a timeline when we're doing regression therapy, and how to break that down and how to going through on that specific event, and how do we duplicating our lives what the parents did.
Hey, Brian, you want to take a moment and just do some shout outs to people? Avoiding the off color stuff, but
what's the fun in that? No, we've got obviously Scott King kicked off this landslide.
Scott
Becca, King I'm seeing Laura is joining us. Also, Jobeth, we mentioned him earlier.
Good to see Laura.
So I'm going to kind of ask this in two parts. Becca was asking what got you into hypnotherapy, and I think you kind of touched on that with the car accident and things like that. But if there's anything deeper, and then the next one, it was I'm going to kind of translate this. You didn't have to become a psychologist to do hypnotherapy, correct?
No. I started out to learning hypnotherapy at the Hypnotism Training Institute of Alberta. A lovely lady, and I was teaching with her school for 20 years. But I tell you why I learned hypnotherapy. Because every single time when I did my shows, people were standing in line to talk to me after the show if I can help them to do this problem, that problem. And I'm not talking about stop smoking. I'm talking about emotional issues. And that's actually kind of pushed me into the direction. I said, okay, I want to have credibility as a hypnotist. Okay. And because of my show business, that's how I developed actually my clientele. You believe this or not, those people who seen me doing this, or they were a part of the show, whether audience or on stage, they believed I can hypnotize. I had the proof. So therefore they come to me and asking for help. So many times when we did shows out of town or we traveling in the trip, what we did Saturday night show, Sunday morning, I'm doing therapy in the same town in a hotel. Then people are standing in line, and honest to God, they coming and did the therapy many times like that.
And it's like,
and that's how I developed.
And it's like when Jim and I do like street hypnosis stuff, or even the stage, you get, you're packing up your stuff, and then you get people coming up to you, hey, how'd you like the show? Thanks for, having us out. And they're like, got a question. Are you able to, and then it's fix, solve, help, assist, insert ailment or struggle here. And it's like you give them the introduction to the hypnosis is, if you throw it in like a comedy or an entertainment platform, it's a great introduction for people of like, okay, this isn't just a bunch of snake oil wazoo, it's not a bunch of acting. It's actually people that, from your inner circle or that you're associated with that are just doing stuff that they would normally do. And then they go, maybe there is something to this.
And, even though I was a magician, when I shifted into the stage hypnosis business and I did my very first show, and you guys might remember back in the 90s, early 90s, and we had these little ghetto blasters with 2 double cassette player, with a little microphone on a cord, and
that's where the first karaoke machine started.
Exactly, almost like that. So, and that's what I had. And I did a show actually in a Polish hall for newcomers, new immigrants. Now, these people barely speak English. Not to mention my English. Okay, so now here we go. Here is a Hungarian hypnotist with an accent, 2 Polish people, and it was a disaster. I bombed so badly, I thought I will never want to do this again. Don't be discouraged if your first show. Sorry, go ahead.
There was that silence at the end that, kind of backtracking to, you have 500 people in this arena and you're like, right. That's the Polish Hall shows all over again, and then the dude starts clapping.
Yeah.
Listen, guys. Honest to God, I hypnotized a girl, so I told her she's Madonna, and she didn't really understand. But when we put on the song, she's dancing around with a microphone, whatever, and this over. So the way I learned the classic, after you do a stunt, remove the suggestion. Close your eyes. You are no longer Madonna. You are back to yourself. And I ask her to check. What's your name? And she says, Madonna. I said, no, you're not Madonna anymore. Close your eyes. I'm removing the suggestion again. I ask her name. What's your name? Madonna. So I do it about 3 times. And a big Polish guy comes up to me and shakes me like this. You stupid. Her name is Marzana. So that was my first show, guys.
Nice. Hey,
but
first show. Hold on, Brian.
Yeah.
If you want to win a prize, the Your Life Sucks book, signed autographed copy, you got to put in the hashtag. It's hashtag YLS book. One word. Hashtag YLS book. I will send it. Yes, I will even send it all the way to England, Becca, if you win this, just like I did the pineapple pizza shirt. So yeah, if you want to win that, it's YLS book. Go ahead, Brian.
No, you bring up a really good point that we've kind of learned the hard way with your grad night shows, is that you get high school students and we play kind of some of the classic hits of you're the musician, you're this artist. You start playing the music and it's like, you get kids that'll just give you blank stares going like, I've never heard this in my entire life. They have no idea. Yeah. Like, who? Well, I don't understand who Motley Crue is or anything like that. But then you get some Taylor Swift thing. Jim turns into a fanboy.
But listen, guys, because I'm the legend, so let me tell you another short story until I'm here. So when I broke my neck...
You're going to get a T-shirt now, aren't you?
No kidding. Listen, so when I broke my neck in a car accident, and I was scared and horrified after that to go back on the road, but I did finish the contract which I signed. So I decided I will be an actor. So I went to Los Angeles. I signed up for a 6-week acting course in Hollywood. I come back. I got an agent. Guess what is the first paying gig? Signed first paying gig after I broke my neck in a car accident. They were looking for a driver for a docu-drama movie. This was the story from 1907, the first car race around the world.
Oh, no.
So Americans, Italians, French, and the German. So the movie director is looking for a driver for the German guy. So I looked up the original. His name is Hans von Koppen. So I shaved my head, colored my hair back. I got a mustache. I dressed up like the guy in the original 1907 picture. I walked in. They looked at me. You got the part. So my first paying gig is in a movie after I broke my neck in the greatest car race in history.
Damn.
All right. So my inner car guy has got to be asking what kind of car is that?
This was actually a German car called Protos.
Okay.
In 1907. And the whole idea was that they're going to go through the Bering Strait and going on to Europe and going down to Paris. So New York to Paris, all around the world.
Wow.
4 countries. Wow. So they were filmed the whole thing in Canada. But it was awesome.
Nice.
No,
I think it might have been the haircut, Jim. What do you think?
Yeah, maybe. Those bald guys always look like German villains.
Thank God he didn't go in there wearing a Canada toque.
Scott wanted me to pull it on my bald, shiny head nice and slow for him. Yeah, Scott, there you go. There you go. YouTube doesn't know what we're talking about, what we're alluding to. You know what?
So Jim started a new website. It's called Kellner Fans.
No, I wanted to start manfeet.com, but somebody already had it. Damn it. So, bummer.
Don't you hate it when Scott steals your idea?
Exactly. And now I cannot get it. Never mind. Anyway, before we head off to the other parts of the show, Attila, we do product spotlight, we do some hypnosis. What else would you like people to know about you, about hypnotherapy, what you do? Kind of all that, kind of wrap that up for us.
I truly focusing on teaching people who wants to help others to become certified clinical hypnotherapist. Mm-hmm. My school is registered with the IMDHA, International Medical Dental Hypnotherapy Association, also registered with the Gil Boyne organization called American Council of Hypnotist Examiners. As a matter of fact, if you guys knew it or not, Gil Boyne received the Hypnotist of the Century Award. Oh. He was the one who registered actually the title as hypnotherapy into a profession. So since that, actually, we have this profession as hypnotherapy. So to have a person who is the biggest name in the industry and actually working together with him several times, courses together, I think that was my highlight of my life.
Wow. And we're introducing something this year where we're doing a tribute to the legends of yesteryear, and this year we're covering Ormond McGill and Jonathan Chase and somebody else I remember. But in following years, I would we'd love to have you come and maybe say a few words about Gil and what that was like, what he was like. It'd be amazing.
Just give you a hint. So I have 10 courses, on hypnosis to all the way to clinical hypnotherapy, medical hypnosis, and stuff like that. So each course is about like this thick, about 300 pages book.
Wow.
So yeah, it takes months and months to go through these with me. And I teach these live. If I do it live on Zoom, I will be there in every class. So these are not downloadable, not PDF, not, recorded. It's actually, we do the actual therapy training live, just like as we are doing it right now. Nice. And of course, I do live courses as well when people actually come. I just finished one not too long ago. I had people here from England, from India, from Hungary, from Vancouver. So I do teach live courses as well.
Will you be presenting at IMDHA this year?
Because of the COVID, and I wasn't sure that what is going to happen. So this year I didn't. But before the COVID, every year I was there doing it. Different courses, different stuff. the last courses I did in Los Angeles and in Daytona with IMDHA, for example, it was on nutrition and the brain. So how is nutritional deficiencies are creating actually mental disorders?
Interesting work. Attila, we're going to take out just a minute to go to do a little product spotlight. We're going to talk about the book. And we're going to come back in a minute. Everyone, remember hashtag YLS book, and you can win this book. And right after this, we're going to come back to everyone's favorite game, friend or frenemy. We're going to find out if Attila is a friend or a frenemy. He's from Canada, so I'm a little bit afraid. So there it is. Your life sucks. Now, people will sometimes say to me, they'll comment on Facebook, they'll go, well, my life doesn't suck. The book's not for you. I don't get it. I don't know why you'd even say anything. If I put up a book that said how to train your dog and you didn't have a dog, would you stop by to tell me you didn't have a dog? Probably not. But look, your life doesn't have to suck to get something out of this book. It's been called my favorite personal development book. Go look at the reviews on Amazon. It's actually, I wrote this specifically for myself, for me 20 years ago. My life sucked. This book would have helped me a lot. So if your life really sucks, you definitely need it. If you just need a little bit of help in how you talk to yourself, getting over some of the barriers in your life, this book is going to kick ass. You're going to love it. It's funny because look at me. I'm funny. Wait, that came out wrong. Listen to me. I'm funny. I don't look funny, of course. So you grab the book, jimkelnerhypnotist.com/author. Shawn is probably sharing the link right now. But after we do the hypnosis, one of you lucky people is going to walk away with this book valued at $13 million because I'm going to sign it. All right. That's a sales pitch for today. Buy a couple books. It'll keep the lights on. And now back to the show for friend or frenemy. Shawn, I don't believe you've done a friend or frenemy before, and it is Canada Day. So would you please do the honors?
All right, everybody that is watching, place your bets now.
Place your bets. We want to know before he answers. Do you think that Attila is a friend or a frenemy? Take a good look at him. Hold on, we're going to put him on.
Hold on a second, Jim. I'm compelled to say this. Attila, it's a yes or no question.
Yes or no.
This has no bearing on citizenship, immigration status, anything like that. And yeah, where'd everybody else go? Can you hear me okay?
Okay, I can hear you, Brian, but you're coming off for just a minute.
You're going to come off for just a minute.
Okay, cool.
He's going to, so everybody can take a look at him to try to read his face to see if he's a friend or a frenemy.
And
this is important, people. Place your bets. Couple of guesses. It's an even split right now. Brian is saying friend. Okay, so it's we're leaning towards friend. Shawn.
Right. So the question is,
very important question.
Do you like pineapple on your pizza? Yes or no, friend or frenemy?
Do 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 do. Do. The question's to you, Attila.
Question to me?
Oh, yeah. yes.
Oh, sorry. I have to answer. Okay, I missed. I was waiting for people to answer.
I thought you were doing a dramatic pause, which I thought was awesome.
I'm like, okay.
There's always a dramatic.
I was like, we're having a Wes Macaulay moment.
No. There's always a dramatic pause. Yeah. We're Canadian.
That's right.
No, I am friend maximum. I help everybody.
Okay. So do you like pineapple on pizza?
That's a trick question.
Is it?
I eat everything as long as it's not moving. So
Fair.
if it's pineapple on it, well, I will eat it. If it's mushroom, I will eat it.
Okay,
However,
let's rephrase it this
the
way.
question
Your
is here.
preference.
Do I like it? No.
Oh,
There we go.
Okay. Yeah.
yes. Yes.
Win. Touchdown.
Yes.
Look, pineapple does not belong on meat. I mean, not on pizza. No.
Please.
Thank you.
Somebody.
However, if you put it into a bag and you soak it with a steak, it softens the steak really good, and it won't make it a pineapple taste.
Okay.
Try that.
I'm okay with that.
But no, sorry, on pizza.
Wow.
If Jim, you invite me over and you serve it, I will eat it. I'm not gonna pick it off.
You're polite.
Yeah, that's what I can eat it. No. Okay. But if you're gonna have like cockroaches on it and moving, no, I won't.
Becca is relieved.
I think that qualifies.
Or crickets, crickets.
Yeah, I draw the line at things that move too. But I think this qualifies for.
Yeah.
I think,
finally.
I move that Attila is a friend. Do I have a second?
I second that.
All right.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Aye.
Too funny. I totally missed it in the beginning. I was waiting for what you guys are talking about. Okay.
He thinks we're nuts. He thinks we're crazy. We are. We're a little bit crazy. Attila, so you have a choice. We're going to do some live hypnosis through the screen for these people. Would you like to do some fun with hypnosis? Is there some kind of a therapeutic thing you'd like to? And we're only talking maybe 15, 20 minutes, something like that.
Jim, can I ask you to pick your book and put it in here in front?
I'm happy to. Yes.
So let's do a segment on that.
Okay. Before we do, if you're watching, if you're driving, moving around or something like that, please do. Can you run the tape? Yeah. Please do sit down, lie down. Don't try to do hypnosis while you are doing other stuff.
Chopping vegetables, cooking. I've had that happen a few times on TikTok. Everybody out on TikTok land that knows me, make sure you're sitting comfortably or laying down.
And out of range of stuff if you do fall.
All right, Attila.
So here is the deal. You guys are going to do a lot of segments on stage and on fun and, lock your fingers and suggestibility testing and all kind of stuff. So first of all, I would like to say hypnotherapy is alive because of stage hypnosis. So stage hypnotists are actually promoting hypnosis all over the world. And that's number one. We have to acknowledge that. Without stage hypnotists, most people wouldn't even consider probably hypnotherapy, or very few. So I think it's very important for us to promote each other, helping each other in this industry. Because I was in it and I know what I went through and how I struggled through. Okay, I was constantly attacked. I'm making fun of people and they didn't understand. These people are volunteers. And they coming on stage and they having a blast and they having a fantastic time. And always I did clean shows and I was in the corporate market. Okay. So no, stage hypnotism is a very big part of this. As a matter of fact, Ormond McGill, Gil Boyne, and many of the big stars who started out like Dave Elman, they did stage hypnosis and eventually they transformed into or transitioned into hypnotherapy. So I would like to show a simple demonstration with a question, if that's okay.
Yes.
So please close your eyes. All of you. That's including all of you on the screen.
Oh, okay.
Brian? Yeah.
We were watching.
Okay, you see, now you are doing the same thing as I did with the pineapple. Okay. So please close your eyes for a second. And I'm going to do a simple thing. Allow the feeling comes to you when the first time you experienced it in your life, when adults wanted you to do something and you didn't want. So please, a feeling when an adult or adults wanted you to do something and you didn't want to comply or you didn't want to do it. And when you have this story what popped into your mind, open your eyes. That was fast.
Yeah.
Now, we can go through the entire hypnotherapy session here. But did you go to childhood?
Mm-hmm.
Did you go below 10 years of age?
I did.
Did you go before age 6? Let's say 5-ish?
No.
6-ish, 7-ish?
Yeah.
So most likely that means we hit something what we could consider root cause. And that event, what you have been triggered at the moment, this could be also part of your entire life, how you make decisions.
Yeah.
And that's why our life sucks, because we make decisions at that age and an experience what we may didn't even understand.
Mm.
So give you an idea of a different way. A story what a child will experience will have a false emotion to the memory, and they will remember that story the way they experienced it through their mind. So the event could be real, but the emotion, what they linking to the story, that creates the reality, which is not necessarily the truth. Does this make sense?
Yeah. It does. Yeah. That was a great way you pulled that all together.
And
Love
that was a 2 minutes regression therapy.
Yeah.
To cause without even revealing or talking about what really happening inside of you.
Yeah.
And remember this, many people, they think of hypnosis as some kind of a dream state and you're falling asleep and you don't know these things. But here is the basic definition of hypnosis. Activating emotions, it creates an immediate trance state. The deeper the emotion, the more profound the trance state is.
Mm.
And even in stage hypnosis, that's what I was after. Creating emotions, which is uplifting them, let their inhibitions go, and therefore we had a blast all the time.
Yeah. That was pretty incredible because, like you said, I mean, it was just a few words. And I mean, I was right back there and I could see everything. I could hear the parent's voice. I mean, everything was right there. That was wild.
Was it interesting?
Cool. It was very interesting. Yeah. How about for you guys? Were you able to find something? You don't have to tell what it was, but did you find something?
My first thought after a few seconds was like, all right, you're gonna have to narrow this down. which parent, which adult, is a school teacher?
Yeah, I get that.
It doesn't matter. I give you a story. So when I was about 3 years old, I had a long curly wavy hair all the way down to my shoulder. So when people looked at me as a kid, they thought I'm a girl. So my mom takes me to a daycare, kindergarten or whatever, in Hungary. So the lady there, the teacher, the kindergarten teacher, thinks I'm a girl. So they give you a little cubby hole with the sign on it with the ladybug. And this freaking ladybug had to be put on everything what you own: your shoes, your jackets, your hats, your toque, so. And in me, it was, I'm not a ladybug. I want a soldier or a car or a soccer ball or anything but a ladybug. And so when they did this to me in a therapy session, that was the first thing came to me, that this rejection, what an adult wanted me to be. What to do. And that's what I am after with these questions, because that's the first impact when we are emotionally. Okay. Once we find this could also be there for their entire life. Because once this is triggered, you are basically responding with that rejection to your boss, to your spouse, your husband, to your wife, whoever it is, at that moment, it's emotions. So to going back and actually to releasing this information or bringing it to the surface, and now it goes to the cognitive part of the brain and you understand what happened, that's when the healing becomes.
Wow.
Well, that was a short hypnotherapy.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. nice little taste of it, guys. If you want to get a hold of Attila, you can. We've got all of his info there. He's got his social media. You can find him. It's ATTILAKUN. That's how you spell his name, Attila. Good evening, Amanda. Good to see you. One last chance, everybody, for hashtag YLS book. And by the way, if you're a stage hypnotist and you're coming to the Performing Hypnosis Summit, you'll have the opportunity to learn from this. Yes, I'm going to say it again. Legend, Attila Kuhn. Everybody. All right. Get ready because we're going to do the lottery. Are you running the lottery, Shawn, or am I?
I can run it if you want.
It doesn't matter. Let's see. I got it. Okay, there it is.
You got it?
Yep. It's got the wrong one. Hold on.
Okay, hang on. I got it here.
Okay. Here we go. Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? Better not be Scott King again.
Oh, it's
Becca
Becca.
Rose. Look at that. All the way to England, we're sending this bad boy. Becca is a 2-time winner.
I think she was the first winner, wasn't
I
she?
think she was the first winner. She got the I Love Pineapple Pizza because I had the taste buds of a junkyard dog t-shirt.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. So, Becca, this will be in the mail to you. I just got a new shipment in. So if I owe you a book and you're listening and going, where's my book? I just got a new shipment in. So those will be coming out shortly. In fact, Shawn and Brian, your books, they're here, sitting in my office, just waiting.
That's
All
good.
right.
I'm glad Canada Post didn't purposely lose it.
Exactly. Do we have anything else? I think that's it. Please join us in second and fourth Mondays of every month. Please go check out Attila. Follow him on social media. Go find. He shares a lot of nutritional stuff on his page, I've noticed, and helpful information. And of course, come see him at the Performing Hypnosis Summit and grab one of those courses. The guy's been around for a long time, and he knows his stuff. So I'm Jim Kellner. Thank you, Shawn. Thank you, Brian. And thank you, Attila, the legend, for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Pleasure meeting you.
Thank you for everybody who's watching. Thank you for being here.
No,
So Becca says she doesn't ever read books. Well, I don't want to say it shows. I'm kidding.
Man.
Never admit that, Becca. Never admit that. Ooh, Becca wants to drop deep. You want to hit her with it, Brian?
I could do that. Becca, look at the screen. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, and good night.
All right, everybody. Take care. Be well. Be awesome.
Stay free, guys.